Hello, and welcome back to Paint and Chill Fridays. There is no music. I just realized that. That's awkward. We should fix that. There we go. Don't know why it paused, but it did. Okay. Tom 184, hello, welcome. I don't see you in this chat very often. We've got no background music. Yeah. So that should have been fixed. We're listening to the Elder Scrolls Dark Brotherhood soundtrack music. Because I figured that would be fitting. Hopefully that'll work out. Okay. I'm still coughing. I'm sorry. It's better today, which is why I was like, I have to stream. It's been such a bad week for this. And we need to be on color. We did hands last time, and I'm pretty much okay with where they are right now. They're pretty fully realized. It's just about tightening it up. So I want to play around a little bit with the face and this background area. I think I want to add a pattern around the dark rather than it just being plain like that, just a plain disc, or maybe bringing out a little bit more, but I have to be really careful with the daggers being dark as well. And I might want to do some color correcting with the robe. Just need to make it work for me. The music is gone again? Dang it! It keeps doing that. Why? It was working like fine with every other bit of music that I play on here. Goodness. Okay, it is playing. Really quietly though, but I guess it's just the song that's gonna build. Should I just not even bother with Elder Scrolls music? Is it a sign? Rolls in after getting after forgetting I had the stinking app installed on my computer. Hello, Regina Corbin. Oh, I thought you were gonna do the name change on here, weren't you? Or do you have to wait on that? I don't know. Okay. I was actually looking at some of my old reference images, and some of it for Dark Brotherhood I was looking at Matt Barley here. He makes some interesting artwork. Most of it's like werewolf stuff, but I like some of the dark imagery that he does. So I pulled him up, and I'm looking at some of this for inspiration. It's much less colorful than what I do. It won't let me for a few months. Ah, yes, okay. We'll take from here. I want to do something with the eyes. I don't know if that's gonna really, yeah, it's so emo. Okay. Let me see. Maybe a lighter color might work, but I have white here. See, I have like my predefined values, so I don't know if any of this playing is going to really work out for me. No. Although hair does not look like a bad idea. Actually. That could be interesting. But then that further defines this as a character, a person. And it's supposed to be, you know, the listener. You can graft any character you want onto that title. Advanced warning, I'm about to press the resubscribe button. Ah! Practiced a lot with Photoshop today. My hand still hurts. Good practice. Feel the burn. Thank you so much, Tom. 8 months. Oh my god. Thank you. Damn it. I do like the hair. Like a lot. Ooh! Photoshop, no! Okay. Now, around here, see, like, I'm just playing around with different elements that I thought of that would be kind of maybe interesting, but I wasn't sure if they would work. So I'm just trying to get them out of the way, figuring out what I like, feeling conflicted, you know. Like usual. Mainly eyes and just in general, try to get some sort of style nailed down. Practicing styles is a thing, but don't feel like you have to like create your own style. That just seems to come naturally. People can tell the things that you've made. Even if to you it looks like this just looks like a normal thing. How can you tell it was me? Unless you are really carefully trying to copy someone's style, then, you know, you're trying to hide yourself. Okay, I like the white highlight over here. That's a thing that I'm interested in, but I don't know if I'll be overdoing it by brightening up around the black. Probably. But we have to experiment. Yeah, nailing down a style is hard. Yeah. I've also noticed that I can't draw chibis or cutesy anymore, which is surprising to say the least. I've always had a problem with chibis, to be honest. Like, connecting the head to the body, for me, it was like, it's always been kind of a struggle. From what I've seen, any style is just a combination of different influences. It's true. We are a collection of influences, of memories, of just different things that we've come across and felt in life. The neck part, oh yes, yeah, right? It's a thing. It's not easy. This is interesting. Yeah, okay, I like having the highlight up there, and it makes more sense because you've got the lighting on the character anyway. So I think I will be keeping this and tightening it up. Just labeling the layer so I won't lose it. Oh, goodness. I think I'll move it up. Should be the top layer anyway. Okay. What does dark hair look like here? I'll just give more visual interest to the piece. Dang it. And I do like how it covers the eyes, because that was the whole point of this. The listener listens underneath a big old hood that's covering their ears. I probably just spend too much time around normal proportions. Looking at you, later JoJo parts. What? Later JoJo people are like not super duper crazy buff? In most anime, I've noticed they generally follow a slightly different. Well, most animation you deal with exaggerated parts. You kind of have to in animation just because you're animating something, so you're trying to simplify it as much as possible while still retaining a certain amount of detail. And generally, we try to romanticize the human body and like beauty and everything. So I've noticed with anime, you generally have longer legs than what a normal person has. Like that seems to be a base rule that I've seen, and also larger heads. That's like a base rule across a lot of anime styles. All right. This could work. This could work. Gonna lock this. And if I make this white, that's just not gonna work because there's just too much white. Oh, no, no, actually, the white does look pretty cool. Not gonna lie. Would need shading though, obviously. But it is striking. God, why do I do this to myself? I have to experiment. I have to see if there's something that would work better or be more awesome. They slim down in the later ones. Instead, they turn rather flamboyant. Okay. I'm just looking at it from a thumbnail perspective because that tends to help when you're figuring out your values, your lights and darks, general silhouettes and proportions and all that. I think I'm going to keep the white hair. I need to do something about it melting into his chest. But that's okay. I can work with that. Because the chest, I worked with almost off-white, if not completely off-white. Let me see. Yeah, like almost off-white there. So we're going to have to make the chest darker if we're going to have white hair, because we need more depth between those values, I guess you could say. More contrast. No, I guess I could probably do that really quick. Make sure that looks good. So I'm going to just go to a airbrush, gentle airbrush. Oh, I have my I have Photoshop a little bit too enlarged, don't I? You can't see the file edit stuff. Get over here. So what I get for getting the bigger monitor. Every time I'm reminded, it's like, I didn't think I was going to be streaming. That wasn't even a thing in my mind. I'm like, oh, I'll just get the larger screen. Okay, so soft airbrush, and we're going to put it on multiply just so that I can darken his chest here and still keep the details we've got going on so it just doesn't turn into a blob. Just doing some color correction real quick. I'm mainly looking at this thumbnail over here as I do it, trying to bring it in line with the skin that we have on the hands. Probably gonna have to go in and paint. This can only get me so far. Let's take a little bit of the saturation off. Alright. It is too dark at the moment. So that's a problem, because I like having this lightness here, but we obviously are competing with the hair. Yeah. That looks a little bit better. He's glowing less. Which works better for the overall, like, this is the character. But I feel like this lighter chest is more eye-catching as, like, when you're looking at the whole piece in terms of color. But I might be going a little crazy, so we'll leave it with this. This works. This means we could actually brighten up the hair a little bit. I will lock it. Go to a lighter white. Okay, unlock it. Thought I could just paint it in on these strands, but they're a little bit translucent, so. And that can give us our whiteness. Should I choose to keep it like that? So that's not too bad. You mean your 1920 by 1200 screen? Yes. Rather than 1080. It's got a little extra pixels on the top or bottom, or top and bottom. So I have to play around every time with OBS and setting up games and stuff that are full screen. I'm gonna go into like my graphics card and tell it to, you know, keep it at the 1080p, and so I can have black on the bottom and the top of the game. Just extra fun. I suppose I could just, you know, not use a certain portion of the screen. There's probably a graphics card setting that would just cut this down, or like a display setting, but that's no fun for me. Alright. I'm gonna want to probably bring in this warmth and these shadows to the chest, get that dynamic range going. But let's make another rough here and continue playing. That looks freaky. I like it. That'd be just too easy. I have to alter stuff using CAD with my Dell Ultra Sharp 2. Yeah, that is what I have. Although I've had it for a while, so I kind of worry about color accuracy. And with Photoshop, alright, I've never been able to get this to work right. It is really aggravating for me to do work in Photoshop and output it, because when I do, it normally is extra saturated, and I've fiddled around with the proof setup. Monitor RGB seems to be the most accurate for me to see the real outcome of this photo when I put it when I output it as a JPEG or a PNG or whatever and print it. But I feel like it's the least accurate to like have as a thing that like this is the proof colors. I would have imagined like working CMYK or an actual like RGB standard would be better, but no. And even still, I export it and it's still like it's just oversaturated. I always have to go in and do like little extra things. We'll probably see that at some point where I'm using a whatever these things are called, the filter layers, and doing a brightness contrast thing or saturation thing and just turning it down so it looks really weird in Photoshop but okay in game or on my desktop. And I've done research and all that stuff, and I know there was like there's some kind of tag in the file when you save it for like Photoshop to list the colors for it. But that didn't seem to work either. I actually had to untick that. There's all sorts of problems. I'm glad I'm not really in the printing business. But I do like those extra 120 pixels. They somehow seem to make a lot of difference when drawing. Yeah. No, I do appreciate the extra space. I enjoy it. Although, I can easily live without them like what I'm doing right now. So you guys can see what's up. Wait, what did I do? I just, no. What? Oh, it went, okay. I got so confused because I just wanted to lift this up because it resized. And that's another thing. These things keep doing that. They keep on resizing. I don't need them that big. I want to have like a long list for my layers and a long list for my brushes, and I just every time. Like it'll remember if I have the program always maximized, but the second I resize it like I did for you guys, it's just like, I'm just gonna forget all my settings. That's what I get. Do I want to have dark in here, or is that going to detract from the pupil? Yeah, it's a little... Actually, I wonder if maybe the tips of the fingers might work better for that. So that's a thing. Making the tips of the fingers or the hands darker compared to the rest of the body to have that spooky, scary, evil effect. It's probably a little bit too much there. No, that doesn't look good. Alright, well, now I know. Oops. That's what I get for hovering while I'm looking at chat. Printing can be a lot of work. Just trying to get like the color accuracy pulls my hair out, especially when you have lots and lots of requirements from your professor. Who nitpicked every last bit on the almost finished product. When I was in college and I had to like print out some stuff for the galleries, it worked fine going through their Photoshop. Gosh, I should have like screen capped all of the settings. Did you see working in wider color gamuts becoming a bigger deal in digital art? Do you see? Well, that really depends because like right now I think we're working in, what is it, 16-bit mode? 8 bits, 8-bit channel, yeah. I've worked in larger channels which allow for a greater gradient gamut, but it makes the file super huge and super slow. So until like that gets better. I feel like it's just so much easier to work in 8 bits. Like, yes, your gradients don't look as smooth, but you can still make pretty good art. So it's that whole balancing act. I know there's like a few people when I was researching it, um, they would use 32-bit and then output into 8, because I think there's like a file issue as well, like how you save it and what the files actually save as and what can be displayed easily on the internet, because that's a big thing, like what the standards are and what people can see. It hasn't helped me that much, Tom, but I'm still an amateur. Just curious, because my laptop screen and TV are both to Rec 2020 color space specifications, and it seems to be becoming a common thing in display equipment in general, but there seems to be almost zero content taking advantage of it. Yeah. Well, like I said, like, most normal people don't have monitors that are super color accurate or have like crazy color gambits, you know? So you don't really have to worry too much about that. When you're dealing with digital art on a professional level and with printing and stuff, I can see how that's a benefit, because when you print out, I think you get like better colors. Actually, I don't know. I don't know if like the color space is wider. I imagine so. And that's why I would imagine that like you want to have those things, because then when you print out, it will really look plush and good, and it's as accurate to what you wanted. But for normal stuff, I mean, you know, people are gonna see this in game, and this is gonna be it, you know? Like, I don't have to have it like super duper colorified. I don't know. I'm not a big expert on it either, if you can't tell. I'm only just using common sense here. Also, you're a pro from what I've seen, Hendy. Aw! I've been told a story, but by someone who did their bachelor thesis in print. Apparently he showed said professor the finished print product 2 weeks before the deadline, and she basically was, yeah, that's a piece of shit. You should start over. The new Star Trek Discovery is shot in Rec 2020 color space, and it's noticeably more colorful on my TV, but it's not life-changing. I think there is less banding, so smoother gradients across the spectrum of colors. Yes, that's the thing. That's really the thing, is smoother gradient. I don't know if... Here, let me see here. Oh my gosh, we do not need that. Here, hold on. So if we're gonna try this out here. We're gonna see if we can see a difference. So I'm gonna do a gradient tool. Gradient from white to black. Nope. Actually, that was pretty smooth. Okay. You can't really see the banding too much, and you guys probably can't really see it too much on stream. But generally with things like this, you get some of the banding going on. I was hoping it would be pretty visible, because I've dealt with this problem before, but I'm not really seeing it being too bad right now. I also deal with like a lot of layers, which have lots of textures and stuff and detail, and that can lead to the gradient being more obvious. But if we go and we do a... Oop, not open. A new one in 32-bit. Yes. I can't use my paint bucket. What is this nonsense? It's actually not too hard to fix. Oh, and that looks different. Yeah, you can see the color gambit is different. Way less black. Let's see. I'll just do it the old-fashioned way. This paint bucket doesn't want to work. Can I get my gradient? Oops. Oops, 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 oops. I want this actually on the document. Was I thinking 16-bit rather than 32? This doesn't look... This looks like a worse gradient, which is wigging me out. New. Okay, 16-bit. So I don't know what's up with the 32-bit auto gradient being kind of lame, but it's supposed to be the smoothest, and this is the second smoothest, and then this one's supposed to have the most banding. Actually has more of a tint to it between like white to black. The grays kind of look a little bit tinted, where these look more accurate. Like this is more of like a white to a gray. So that's interesting. So use a color instead of white. I mean, we can. Here's some red. If we do from the corner here. It blends differently in the 32-bit. I'll move 16 over here. No, get over here. Get over here. So this is the one I normally work in. And I mean, I can see some banding, but it's not so bad. And then this would be the 16-bit one. And it is a bit smoother. But it blends kind of weird. And this one blends the worst out of them all. But there's really no banding. It pretty much smoothly transitions. So yeah, like now I have to deal with other things though, instead of just, okay, you change your mode to get a better color gambit. You also have to deal with things blending differently, the algorithms for these automatic processes to not be what you're used to, you know? Like if I'm expecting this and I get this, it's gonna throw me off. Anyway, I should probably get back to the actual painting. On that note. It's interesting to understand this stuff from the perception of an artist. Thanks for indulging me. You are welcome. I was getting mildly curious myself because I remember looking into it and then kind of dismissing it as something that like I don't need to worry about. But it's always interesting looking at that kind of stuff. So, back to you. I wanted to work a little bit more on this red coat thing. I'm gonna do another layer, and since I'm getting a lot of layers for this ruff, I'm going to, oh my gosh, no! I'm gonna stick it in a folder now. Because that just makes it easier for me to make layers willy-nilly and not have to worry. Soft airbrush. I hope I didn't annoy everybody else watching. Nah. It's all about discovery. I'm gonna put this on multiply again because I'm just trying to... Whoa, Chrome! What up? Why'd you do that? That was weird. The windows just changed. Like I had one overlapping the other and then decided to flip. Whoa. My dog is going crazy. Apologies. Okay. Just gonna make it darker on the sides here. It's kind of framing the body right now. And framing the hands to an extent. I also want to darken the hood. Because it doesn't... oh, it doesn't need to be that red all over. It should have more dynamic coloring going on. Okay. Where's that? Oh, I guess it's from the original one. Okay. Now this looks kind of dreary black, which I'm not a fan of at the moment. So I'm going to adjust this layer so that it brings in some color to this shading that we've got going on, if I can. Alright, multiply doesn't seem to really be doing me any favors, so I'm going to switch to overlay. Gonna have to do this manually. I might. I might just have to. Alright, normal. This way I can pick the appropriate color and then I'll just have to repaint in the detail here. Make it like a sunset. Oh my gosh. Oh. Well, the tea is done. It's gonna be too much purple because we have the hands that we're dealing with. And that teal is going to look kind of bad. Okay, so we have that as an option. I'm going to do this again. And this way I'll be able to change from this bluishy purple and kind of look, turning the preview on and off to really start narrowing in on what I want. I do like that. I feel like it works better with the hands. There's still so much purple. That's okay, I guess. Let me darken it a little bit. Okay, I like that. So I'll bring this back up again and fiddle a little bit more. I think I might want to deal with gradients of bringing in like some of this color, keeping that dark for down here. I think I like that. Yeah, okay. Alright, so that's 50, 12, and a -1. I'm just going to duplicate this. Okay. So I have my darker purple, and I have my lighter purple. I just want to get that so I can grab... Actually, I might be able to just... nah. Okay. We're going to grab this purple here that I like. We're going to grab it down here, because this is the richest version of it. Do I want to paint? Maybe I could really do the gradient idea. Yeah, okay. I'm gonna mask this. Oops. Right. And I'm gonna take this layer as well, and I'm gonna mask that. And I'm gonna paint in this bottom layer, this base, with the light airbrush. So I can get these dark tones down here. And I'm going to paint in here and bring in the warmer stuff up here. And effectively combines them. So I get the best of both worlds. that looks better. Lighten that up a little. And I'm gonna go back to the hands. And I'm gonna give it a better rim light to make it pop, because they look like they're dissolving into the background at this point for me. And I don't like it. Don't like it. I'm just gonna pick a random color and see if it works. Harder brush. And I'm still controlling size manually, because I just like that kind of control better. But the pressure sensitivity is on the opacity and flow. Okay. And this should make them stand out much better. Rim lighting is like just such an easy go-to to make things pop. Just like add a really light color and just outline the body. I mean, like you need to kind of know where the light is falling. If it's like a backlight or a top light or on the bottom, but then you just add in the rim light as it would naturally fall from the light source. I want to do that for more bony. Nah. Dang it, Photoshop! Stop fighting me. Just trying to get this knuckle. It's not as bright as the rim lighting of the outline of the hand, but it's still important because that's a bony landmark that's going to have a higher reflection of light. Which means it's a pain in my butt. And like this, for this finger, I'm making this knuckle the lightest part, because my brain is telling me that that is the part that would get brightest for the light falling onto it. And a little bit here. The rest of it we're softening up just because we're going further away from the light, so that, you know, it makes sense. I'm just bringing it out a little bit. Oh my gosh, Photoshop. Just Stop. Because you do need to pay attention to the shape, the dimensions of the object. Like, a line like this works, but then you want to do a little bit of light shade around, like, because it's a knuckle, it has volume. It's just really subtle. Oh my gosh. This cough. It's crazy how extra dynamic and interesting you can make something look just by adding that pop of light. Photoshop stopped working. Lighting makes things way more dynamic. It is super true. That was my eraser. Okay, there we go. There we go. I've watched Redline recently, an anime original movie with an incredible art style, which just screams speed, because it's a movie about a sci-fi racing car. I really like animations where the animation style totally meshes and just jives with the story. Like every part equals a richer sum, essentially. I love how I know I was using like pink, right, for the hands. It really doesn't look like pink anymore. It's just purple. Oh my goodness. Gotta wait and be patient. Big, bold, black shadows And a little love letter. Oh, and a little love letter to Pop Art. Okay. Can't read. Yeah, the big bold black shadows. That's a thing that like you've got to be really mindful about and like know what you're doing, because they can look really not they could look really good or really bad, in my opinion. This is one of those things that like you need to have a skill level for. No, no. That is not where the line goes. Got a knuckle here. It's throwing me off for a second there. There we go. Alright. I think that should do. Give me that pop. At this point, I kind of almost want to go in down here and do some room lighting for the blue. I'm very tempted to do so. But I don't know if, like, I might be going too far with that. I mean... Yeah. Let's do it. Just gonna go in here. We're gonna get that color and see if that works. I'm just gonna do a little bit, because this is supposed to be the light that's not as bright. So I really want to be careful with this. There we go. Yeah, okay, that's better. And... okay, so now the hands have a little bit more pop. They aren't blending into the background. Let me go back to the rough here. Looking better. Ah! I'm just gonna play around with the lighting down here. I don't know if this is gonna work at all. I'm just kind of seeing what it would look like if we give these hands a shadowy backdrop. It really, it defines them a lot. Which I do kind of like. Lighten it up even more down here. See what happens. Okay, that is too much blue. So we know not to do that for the thumbnail. Now if we do something like this in the center. I'm gonna lock that and make it gradually brighter. That is too much on the bottom. No. Thought it was like maybe onto something there with bringing like some of the light down or up. But I'm getting the distinct feeling that that is a no. Just silly. Okay. So that is interesting. I think it does define the hands, which I like. Might be defining them a bit too much. Right. Looking at some different things. See if there's anything that catches my eye. But there's nothing that really meshes with the blue that we have going on here. I'm gonna bring it down. It's hard for me to really, because the blue looked really good close up, but further away it just didn't look right, and it kind of clashed with the brightness here that we're dealing with. Ooh, anime talk? Looking some more from that studio. I was struggling to find something that looked like my kind of thing. But I Bakemonogatari is the first chapter of the Monogatari series. Political social commentary. Satirical. Another studio I can highly recommend is Madhouse, known for their incredibly high quality animation. Well, that's something I'm interested in. I don't know, like, I've watched plenty of anime at this point, right? But I haven't really paid too much attention to the different studios. I probably should. So I don't really know which ones are really good and known for really good stuff, and which ones are known to be kind of poop. Poop. Oh. So interesting that I'm fighting with this, because it feels like it should work, but I'm not seeing the results that I want to see. So my brain's just like, keep trying. There's gotta be a point where I have to just say, so I think this might work. Giving the hands some glow. I think this is what I was looking for. Yeah, okay. That might be slightly wrong color though. So it clashes a little bit too much with the rest of the image. Make it really friggin' saturated. Oof. That I think might work. All right. Hands. We have our rim light here. I'm gonna quickly do a color check on it. And let my kitty in. Yeah, banging on the door. There are lots of studios with noteworthy anime, though. Another anime I saw with amazing animation was Kotonoha no Niwa. Comics Weave Films, apparently. I don't think I've seen anything else from them. Hoods Entertainment recently made Drifters, which looked phenomenal. Ghibli is just self-explanatory. Yeah, I mean, like, I know Studio Ghibli. That's the one. It's the one I know. David Productions with JoJo's was also great. I think the animation quality was the only thing I like about JoJo. And the comical British accent. That's just because pure action isn't really my thing. Yeah, I feel you, Tom. Pure action, it gets kind of boring for me. I kind of need to have a mix. Toy, for example, is one of the oldest and well known for their work in One Piece, Dragon Ball, Sailor Moon. Oh! They kind of lost quality over the last years. It's already getting better. The last 2 episodes of One Piece looked awesome. Okay. Toei. That's classic then. Sailor Moon. Dragon Ball. Madhouse's One Punch Man, Death Parade, Bloom, Death Note, Black Lagoon, 10 out of 10, Helsing Ultimate. I've seen like 1 episode of One Punch Man, and I've seen some of Death Note. The others I have not seen. I've never really thought of anime in terms of studio. Yeah. There's some people that are really good about that, and they can see all the intricacies of like the studio style shifting and stuff, just like Kendra said, like quality going up and down. Different styles. The art style in Grimgar is amazing too. Yes! Oh my gosh, yes. It's beautiful. It's like a pastel painting or something, a watercolor. I love it. It's not easy at all to adapt certain mangas. Well, so I know like most of them are mangas that become anime. So I'd imagine like Grimgar is one as well. But like it's black and white though, it's grayscale with manga, so I feel like the anime has its own distinct feel for having the color, right? Unless there's like on the cover of the manga, you have that watercolor style going on with Grimgar. Well, now that Handy has mentioned about studios, I'm going to be more conscious of it. I try, but I'm really like, it's not something that I'm super focused on, so it always just slips through the cracks. I sometimes take notice. Red hands. That actually looks kind of cool. But that's way too bright. I'm actually going to bring down the brightness of the rim lighting a little bit. It's just kind of competing with this brightness up here. And while I do want it to pop out, I've got to be careful. I think it's a pretty good spot where we're at. Let's go. Yeah, okay, so that looks fine, which is good. Yeah, for our values. Alright, good. I need something here. I keep on thinking in the back of my head, I'm like, I'm making this an illustration, and I'm not really caring at the moment about converting it, or how hard it's going to be to convert this to stained glass. Or the others, I was just like, okay, this is how it has to work, because this is how the stained glass is going to work. And right now I'm just like, I want to make a really pretty illustration. I'll figure out the rest of it later. It's not easy at all to touch like markers. Well, now that Handy has mentioned it, yep. It's the watercolor thing in Grimgar is beautiful. I like the style and traditional art too. Yeah, right? It's a nice one. Okay, so hands are done. I'm gonna go back to my rough. Gotta add another layer, just because I know it's this idea, this playing around is just gonna be on one layer I can conveniently turn on and off. Oh, my cat wants to leave my room now. Okay, I need something like here. But it's really close to the daggers, which is a problem. So we have some kind of dark here, or a dark here. And this is a problem because of daggers. But again, rim lighting could save us. Potentially. Oh my god. Or that. I kind of like that better. It flows better with the whole, like, two hands here, guiding the eye and bringing the eye down. Where this is a little bit too cliche and kind of boring. But let's see if we can change this to something a little bit more interesting. We might want to overlap both of them. Oh, wait, I'm on the wrong layer. Dang it. Whew. Hot pink. That's what we want, right? Or green. Like really, really high shoulders, that's all. I don't think color is gonna work here. I think we're good with what we have, actually. Which is, you know, good to know that we're on the right track. This, though. This. Do a strong black. We're gonna make a hard brush. Is that a new layer, right? I did. Good. Good. That's too hidden by the hands. I think any outline here, it's gonna be mostly hidden, so it's just gonna be kind of confusing with black. So that's not gonna work for us. My brain just is telling me that I need to have a dark line here, somehow. I'm gonna flip the canvas. Hmm. No. Maybe this just needs to be larger. Maybe that's the problem I'm having. Oh my gosh. Wait, screw it. I'm gonna take a cough drop. I got, unfortunately, I have really kind of weak ones, so it may not help too much, but we'll see. Kind of helps a little bit just because I'm, I'm sucking on something, so. Distracts my body, I guess. I forgot how chill these streams are. Wish I could send more often. Aww. I love how, like, you're apologizing for the wall of text, Henderson. It's like, oh wait, it didn't happen. It's killing me, because, like, for some reason my brain's like, do more here. But the bigger circle just doesn't work for me. And the ring here is kind of iffy, really. And there's so much going on here, it's just going to muddle this. When really, we want that focus of, oh my gosh, just black. Oh my gosh, creepy eyes. Oh my gosh, dagger. Oh my gosh, hands. The flow is good. But for some reason, that's pointless, and it's touching the daggers. Alright. This is what we got. Just a while explaining some difficulties of anime studios adapting manga. Ooh, that sounds interesting. What happened to that wall? Did it get caught by the moderation filter? Because it's like, are you trying to spam everyone with a wall of text? Okay, I think she might need some kind of correction. Oops. That's what I get for going to a hard brush. Okay, so this circle here is reasonable, but I need to make sure that the hands pop, because if they don't, then I can't keep this circle. So that's my challenge. It gives just a little bit of extra detail, which I like, but the hands need some work. They need some help. Oh, honey, you want to go out? Okay, gonna help my cat. My other cat's laying on my bed looking very cute. Hang on, I'm gonna copy pasta. Yeah, a great example for difficulty when adapting is, weirdly enough, JoJo's. First of all, some poses are so impossible to animate that they get incorporated into still shots. This, yes, I can see it. Or it's just like too much of a budget to be able to animate. You know? Too costly. Secondly, the author of JoJo's doesn't do consistent color palettes. So the anime shifts the colors depending on the mood in the scene, which I'm a fan of, honestly, because it's fast and loose that way, so you don't have to really worry too much. And it really helps with conveying the mood and the vibe of the scene when you play with those colors. I mean, look at these hands on the bottom. They're like, not typical normal color, but it conveys a nice vibe. Sometimes the anime catches up to the source material and has to kill time in order to wait. That's, like, devastating. Yeah, the big difficulty is filler. I have problems with that. Because it can really wreck a story when you just have, like, nothing really going on. I mean, there are animes that are designed for that, where nothing really happens. The nice little gentle slice of life. But when it's a story with all this intrigue and drama and stuff, having those kind of filler episodes where it's just like, let's have a fight for 5 episodes is ridiculous. At least to me. At least to me. This results in non-canon episodes, which Naruto is especially guilty of. Or Dragon Ball Z's fight against Frieza, which got dragged out considerably. Yes, see? That's what killed me for when I was watching Naruto and Dragon Ball Z when I was younger. I'm just like, they're fighting for forever. They can't just stop and wait for the manga to get ahead again. They could, but the problem is, like, if you have that momentum of people watching and you stop for a while, you can lose viewers, you know, and since it's your revenue source, you need to be pumping out something in order to be getting something back. I think, like, with shows that are more pay-per-view, like Game of Thrones, they're able to wait on the books. Well, I think they mostly waited on the books because, like, they had the budget to be able to do so. Naruto is probably 40% filler. One Piece handled their filler kind of good with short mini arcs, but lately the pacing went to shit. The fan art, or the sand art? Stand art? The standard. The standard is 2 chapters per episode for a weekly anime. We have several years between series of popular shows often. Oh, yeah, see, for us, it's like they have designated winter or summer breaks. And that's like the standard, where you know your show's going to be going off for a couple months break and then back. Also, but I think that might be like an American thing where we crank out a lot more episodes per season. I know watching anime, it's really convenient because it's just a 12 episode long thing, maybe 24 and you're done. But with American television, 24 is like the standard in a season. One Piece is currently on a 0.5 chapters per episode. The problem with the hiatus is that Japanese TV is really tightly scheduled. Yeah. Which means that if you go on a hiatus, you won't get your spot on television back at all. That's another thing, like, paying for your spot. I didn't even consider that. I was just thinking from, like, a studio point of view of, like, needing to make revenue and not being able to just sit and wait around. I think the American way with TV is often to every last cent out of a franchise in the most mechanical way possible. This is true. You have a show that's successful, you're going to keep cranking it out until it gets canceled. They usually have a story in mind, with like most shows that actually are supposed to have a story. Like, I don't know about reality TV and stuff, but generally they have a story in mind, and then they just figure out ways to stretch it on forever and never let it die, even if it has to be awkwardly extended. And there would have been a really nice organic way to close it. It just keeps going because they can keep making money. I always hold a lot of respect for shows that have a story to tell. They know how they're going to tell it, and when it ends, they feel confident in walking away from it. You know, like, it doesn't need to be dragged on forever. We've got so much purples and blues. I think this is becoming too colorful again. This is my style. So you can't escape it. Mm. Ooh, Photoshop, don't do that. Photoshop. Thank you. Hunter x Hunter's hiatus went from the planned 1 year to over 7 years because they couldn't get a spot. But that's not to say there aren't some great American shows. Many of our German television channels have the same philosophy. One in particular. The same philosophy as American shows or Japanese. The schedule of that channel. Big Bang Theory. Malcolm in the Middle? What? How I Met Your Mother. It's a good show. Very good show. Friends. Old. From 4 a.m. till prime time, 8:15 p.m. Wow. What? Those are all American. Yeah, right? They're all American shows. I mean, they're very popular, like, cult classic-y kind of shows. well, maybe not cult classic, but they're they're classic, very popular shows from their time periods. They had that scheduled for probably 8 years now. It gets stale, yeah. That channel doesn't do original stuff anymore. But that's crazy. That's crazy that so many American shows. I don't know how I feel about this. Hold on. Let's see. We have that as an option. But what if... Photoshop. Why are you doing this to me? Oh, is it because we're... No, you're definitely frozen. I was meaning more that the shows themselves have those philosophies. Our television currently consists of cooking shows, Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, ripoffs, American sitcoms, daily soap operas, and low-budget crime shows, which are produced in America. We do like our crime shows. Oh my gosh. There are so many of those. It's like CIS, NCIS, CIS Miami, Law and Order. Ugh. I don't really like watching them, so I don't... Oh, even Elementary, even our Sherlock Holmes, which I think is actually a really good show. Even that is like a cop crime investigation. Oops. Can't get rid of the old police or military crime investigation shtick. Oh my gosh, it is slowing down so much. Come on, Photoshop. We have like 3 more minutes left. You can handle it. Over here, it's very common for fans of a British-made show to be really disappointed to learn that they are going to stop making it because they don't want the show to get stale. See, I think that's brilliant, though. I appreciate that kind of mentality. You have a story to tell, you have a story to tell. That's it, you know? And there is an 8-minute commercial break every 12 minutes. Oh gosh, commercials on normal TV are atrocious. I don't really watch TV anymore, but going back to it when I do, I'm just like, really? Even with like sites like Crunchyroll and stuff, when I'm streaming it, the commercials, well, that one has a different problem. I feel like streaming video, the commercials repeat too much. But with TV, it's, yeah, every 2 seconds. Exactly those shows. European soap operas are almost more hilarious, dramatic. I feel like that is like Korean dramas compared to American dramas. Korean dramas are so much more dramatic and over the top. on dinner for one at New Year's Eve. Stuck watching the X-Files, which definitely falls into the range of cop dramas, but sci-fi. Yep. It's a thing we have here. It's a trope. It can be very good, but it's a trope. Soaps are crazy everywhere. And they cycle through the same 15 commercials. I was in Poland, and maybe it was just because I couldn't understand it. And it was a period drama soap opera. But I was like, so dramatic. Because most of the stuff advertised belongs to the channels themselves. On the commercial break for the most popular soap over here, there is a huge power spike in the national grid when several million people switch their kettle on to make a cup of tea. I've heard of that. That really is a thing. The power companies have to prepare for it. I have heard of that, yeah, right? Soaps are just dramatic and hilarious all around. Yeah, but I don't know, like, after watching American dramas and then watching, like, Asian dramas, there's a difference. I mean, there's a difference with all different cultures, right? In the way that they do their dramas. But I feel like overacting in some places is more common and more accepted, more encouraged than others. And different kinds of overacting. Like, I've noticed a lot with Asian stuff. They'll tend to have like a moment of like fright or realization or like smiling, and then they do the camera pan over it over and over and over again to try to dramatize it even more, or dramatize it even more. I have zero tolerance for commercials these days. Yeah, I feel you. Especially if those commercials are boring. For me, I can tolerate their existence because it's a means to an end to a degree. Because some of these channels, these sites, these companies need them to survive, because that's the engine in which they function. Our society is largely fueled by advertising. But when it's the same freaking commercial 4 times in a row, and in American TV, well, even in the streams, even in streaming, just American media in general, they make the commercials super loud. I don't know if that's like that as a normal thing around the world, but I know in America they do it, and oh my gosh, sometimes it scares me because I'm trying to just watch something and it's mellow in the background, and all of a sudden a commercial comes on and it's like BAM! If you want someone to watch your commercial, why would you do that? I purposely turned the volume down, and since I'm there, I might as well mute it. Oh, it's crazy. There are differences. Alcos could probably tell us about overacting if he was here. I watched quite a bit of South American TV when I was traveling in South America. It's really weird that he isn't even online. I mean, people have got stuff they need to do. I mean, his PC is normally turned on 24/7. It's true. Power cut maybe. How long has he been gone? I mean, he might have needed to clean it or get work done on it. You're right, where's Alcos? Don't know, 3 days. Could really keep track. Couldn't really keep track because of irregular streams. Yeah, sickness bites. Okay, Photoshop, are you like okay now? You kind of are. Oh my gosh. Here we go. Yeah, okay. So, after not looking at this for a little while, I'm pretty much convinced I don't like the color in this. So there's that. And I don't know, I like the dynamic of this really bright white and the darker color here. But I do appreciate the design element of the circle. So this is something I'm going to have to ponder on, I guess. And I'll probably do some rim lighting to the hands and see if that makes this jive better for me. Because that might make it work. Alright, well anyway, it is after 5, so I've got to get going. But this looks a little bit better. Oh man, I didn't remember to take a snapshot. Always so bad about that. I think we could just turn this off and go back to where we were, right? Yeah. So this is what we did. So this is what we accomplished today. Mostly experimenting. Oh wait, I did not mean to turn the hat on. So it looks more interesting, visually interesting. And that is important. So we're gonna save. Because again, I haven't done that in a while. It's always scary to me when I go, oh my gosh, I haven't saved in a while. I could have lost everything. aLuckyMuse, hello! We were just talking about you and wondering where you were. And here you are. Speak of the devil. aLuckyMuse heard us. He's psychic. Oh man, I feel bad because you're just like rolling in at the very end of the stream here. We're talking about soap operas and overacting, and how different cultures, different areas around the world overact in different ways. Anyway, okay. Thank you guys so much for coming and hanging out with me. I appreciate it. Thank you, aLuckyMuse, for sliding in at the last moment. Spread the word if you like the stream, because it helps the channel grow. And you can check out the Discord if you haven't. And you can check out the events tab on the Twitch channel to know what we'll be streaming next. And since it is Friday, I have to refresh all of that on Saturday tomorrow. And I'm really hoping that we will have a much better week next week. This week was, oh god, it was awful. I hardly got to stream at all. I think the cough is, I mean, it's still there and it's still annoying, but I think it's at the point where I'm okay. Like, I can hold a conversation, we can talk, and I'm not coughing every 2 seconds. So next week, I'm hoping I can just stream for every single day. Even Chillfest Dark Souls. Ah. I have another hour for aLuckyMuse now. No, I can't. It was super fun to hang out. Have a fantastic day. Yes. I hope everyone does. This week was weak. Exactly. Yes. This week was weak. We'll do better next time. If there's something that you liked or disliked about the stream, or just want to give some feedback in general, you can go to the stream feedback link in either the Twitch info panel or on the Discord and let me know all about it. As always, from my heart to yours, good luck.